Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me today. Before I get into it, I just want to give a shout out to some of our newest subscribers. I got three shout outs today. Hyena Hagen, Royce Collins, Uncle Dave 74. Thank you very much for subscribing to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel. Once again, Hyena Hagen, Royce Collins, Uncle Dave 74. Thank you very much for hitting that subscribe button. And thank you very much for everyone that has hit that subscribe button. Very grateful. We're closing in on 700 subscribers to the channel. And again, man, I'm just so grateful and thankful that you've all have decided to hit that subscribe button. Again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Okay, Impact Wrestling superstars are getting ready to shine tonight at a huge New Japan Pro Wrestling show in San Jose. Battle in the Valley takes place tonight, again at San Jose in the San Jose Civic Center. Should be around 3,000 people. I believe the show was sold out, but Impact Wrestling superstars will be competing in matches, and they are getting ready to shine. Huge stuff. Josh Alexander taking on Yuya Omura. It's going to be a great one. Moose going one-on-one with Juice Robinson. I don't know if Moose is if the Impact Wrestling World title is going to be on the line. It doesn't indicate here. It probably won't be, but I would love to see Moose come down with the Impact Wrestling World's Heavyweight Championship. We also have Chris Bay is also going to be on the show, teaming with Hikuleo, the Bullet Club, as they take on Young Lions out of the LA Dojo, the DKZ and Kevin Knight. That is part of the pre-show. Not happy that the number one contenders to the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Championship are going to be on the pre-show, but hey, I'm not running the show. I got no control of it over it. I don't think that should be on the pre-show. But nonetheless, it is going to be on the pre-show. But Impact Wrestling stars ready to shine on this New Japan Pro Wrestling show. It's going to be a huge show, lots of great matches, and one match that I'm looking forward to: Josh Alexander against Yuya Omura. My goodness, it's going to be a great one. I've done a few podcasts already where I mentioned how great it's going. This is going to be a fantastic match. This is going to be a fantastic match, and it's going to be available on Fight TV. I'm not sure what the price is. It's usually around. I'm guessing $14.99, $19.99, but don't quote me. I would go check it out on Fight TV. It's also on New Japan Pro Wrestling World. If you're subscribing, if you're on the East Coast, it starts at 11 p.m. So if you're watching AEW Full Gear tonight, you switch on over when that show's over. You can switch over to Battle in the Valley, New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle in the Valley, as it starts at 11. It should be about a 3-hour show, so it's probably going to run till about 2. Because again, it is on the West Coast, San Jose West Coast. So it starts at 8 p.m. PST. So it starts, unfortunately, for us here at 11 p.m. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great show. But Yuya Omura and Josh Alexander, my goodness, that's going to be a great one. That's going to be a great one. Josh Alexander is not going to lose to Yuya Omura, but I could be wrong. But I don't see Josh Alexander losing. This is not the first New Japan Pro Wrestling show that Josh Alexander has been on. I think it's the first house show he's been on. He's been on a few New Japan Pro Wrestling Strongs that they recorded for their TV show, but this probably the first house show he's been on for. I can't think of another house show he's done, or a big event like this he's done. So that's great news for Josh Alexander. It's showing that New Japan Pro Wrestling likes Josh Alexander. I think we're going to see a lot more Josh Alexander in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and his contract is coming up. But I'm going to discuss that on a later podcast. I'm not going to get into that now. His contract is coming up, and I'm sure New Japan Pro Wrestling would be greatly interested in signing Josh Alexander. But we'll get into that on a different podcast. But this is going to be a great one. And then we got Moose against Juice Robinson. Juice Robinson, as we all know, Impact Wrestling fans know, part of Finn Juice. he called out Moose Juice. Of course, we've seen on Impact Wrestling. We all know that. But Juice Robinson on the last New Japan Pro Wrestling event actually called out Moose, and that set up this match. So Moose versus Juice Robinson. This is going to be a fantastic match as well. We'll love to see him come down with the Impact Wrestling World Title. I would imagine that he is coming down with the title. I can't see Moose losing. I can't see Moose losing here because on the last show, the last big New Japan Pro Wrestling show he was on, he wrestled Tomohiro Ishii, and he was defeated by Tomohiro Ishii. But I think he's going to get that win back here. I think he's going to defeat Juice Robinson. I don't see Juice Robinson defeating Moose. I don't. I don't see this. I'm no, no. This is not going to happen. Something is telling me though. I got a little like a little voice in my head saying Juice is going to win. Juice, unless they plan it with Juice Robinson defeats Moose, and then Juice Robinson uses that to get a title shot on Impact Wrestling. That might that could be possible. That could be possible. Juice Robinson defeating Moose and then using that as a way to get a title shot at an upcoming Impact Wrestling event against Moose for the Impact Wrestling World Title. That's a slight possibility, but I don't see Moose losing here. No, I don't think Moose is going to lose. There was Chris Bay and Hikuleo, the Bullet Club, taking on DKC and Kevin Knight, the Young Lions out of the LA Dojo. No way in hell Chris Bay and Hikuleo lose here. Not a chance. Not a chance in hell. Just the number one contenders to the Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Championship. I just wouldn't have them on the pre-show, especially when they're the Bullet Club, and they have Jay White, their Bullet Club fellow Bullet Club member Jay White is on the show as well, taking on Tomohiro Ishii, which is going to be a great match. But I wouldn't have them on the pre-show. But that's just me. I would have another pre-show match and just add them to the regular card. But again, I'm not making decisions there. So, but no way Chris Bay and Hikuleo lose. TJP is also on the card as well. I don't know if we could call him an Impact Wrestling talent anymore. He's been removed from the Impact Wrestling roster page on Impact Wrestling's website. So I don't know if we could call him an Impact Wrestling. I don't think we can anymore. But he is on the show as well, teaming with Jeff Cobb against Clark Connors and Carl Fredericks, which is going to be a fantastic match as well. But we got our Impact Wrestling stars on the show, and they're all going to thrive, in my opinion. And I notice what we don't have on the show. We don't have any AEW stars on the show. I think John Moxley was supposed to be on the show, but unfortunately, he's getting treatment for alcohol addiction, so he's not going to be on the show. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be on the show. Don't quote me on that though. I think I did see an advertisement with him a while back with him being part of the show. But besides that, there's no AEW stars on the show. And you could argue by saying, well, AEW's got Full Gear tonight, but not every single AEW talent is going to be a part of Full Gear. So, and I'm sure they could have if needed be, they could have sent some talent, but no AEW talent on the show. I just pointed that out. It's not that big deal or anything, but I'm just curious, just interesting that there's going to be no AEW talent on the show. And I was reading on social media. I was reading on social media, I'm sorry, for Full Gear, people saying, oh, Kazuchika Okada is going to show up tonight. Kazuchika Okada is going to show up tonight on Full Gear. He's not going to show up tonight. He's not going to show up tonight because he's part of the Battle in the Valley card. He's taking on Buddy Matthews, formerly Buddy Murphy. Buddy Matthews signing with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Hopefully, we'll see Buddy Matthews in Impact Wrestling soon. But Kazuchika Okada 101 with Buddy Matthews tonight. So Kazuchika Okada is not going to be at Full Gear because even if he's at the start of the show for Full Gear, well, I guess it's a possibility. I guess, but because Ichigo kind of wouldn't open the show because it's almost a 4-hour flight. I was looking at the flights from Minnesota to San Jose, and it's almost a 4-hour flight, so we be cutting it close. So I'm gonna say that Kazuchika Okada is not showing up not showing up at Full Gear tonight, despite many people on social media indicating that, oh, he's going to show up tonight because Tony Khan's been talking about him. And Rocky Romero invited some members, the best friends in Orange Cassidy, to join Chaos, which is Kazuchika Okada's faction in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But Okada is not showing up tonight for Full Gear, so let's not get our hopes up for that. But anyway, looking forward to it. Tonight's going to be a huge show. Really happy to see top Impact talent involved in the show. And I know if you don't subscribe to New Japan Pro Wrestling World, you might again want to order on Fight TV. But here's what I'm hoping that Impact Wrestling is able to do. Because whenever a New Japan Pro Wrestling star appears in Impact Wrestling or has a match in Impact Wrestling, a few days later, New Japan Pro Wrestling World will put it up on their streaming service. If it like even if it's like a pay-per-view, they'll put it up on their streaming service after a few days. I'm hoping Impact Wrestling has the approval from New Japan Pro Wrestling to do that as well. A few days, even if they put it on Impact Plus or if they put it on their YouTube Insiders subscription service, maybe they could put up the Impact Wrestling matches that are taking place tonight with Josh Alexander against Yuya Mora and Moose against Juice Robinson, because Juice Robinson is Impact Wrestling. He's been wrestling for Impact Wrestling for quite some time now, so it will make a lot of sense to put it up on one of the streaming services, Impact Wrestling streaming services, for Impact Wrestling fans to see. But that's remains to be seen. We'll see if that happens. But I'm just saying, if New Japan Pro Wrestling is doing it, Impact Wrestling should be able to do it too. All right. So if you're watching the show tonight, again, it starts at 11. It's going to be a fantastic show. New Japan Pro Wrestling Battle in the Valley. We got 9 fantastic matches that are going to be taking place. Looking forward to it. Going to be an awesome show. Looking forward again to the Impact Wrestling superstars that are involved with this show as well. And you should be too. You should be too. Okay, we're going to leave it at that for now. And anything else breaks, I'll be back later today. But until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. And stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.